lovely friends, welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome. My name is Anna. Today we're making lobster mac and cheese. This is one of the best, if not the best, mac and cheese you will ever eat. It's perfect for Valentine's Day if you want to make something a little extra special for your loved ones or for yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. The written recipe, you will find it on my website, anitas.com. There's a link for it in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so you don't miss out on any delicious recipes. I'll guide you through the ingredients as we cook the recipe, but for the most important part of it is the type of cheeses. We're using 5 cheeses, so this is like a 5 cheese mac and cheese, lobster mac and cheese. We're using Asiago cheese, fontina, mascarpone, and some cheddar and Gruyere. It's gonna give the most beautiful combination of flavors you will ever have, and it's so yummy. So I have a medium pot here. The written recipe is gonna be for 2 servings, but obviously you can double it if you wanna make more. So I have a pot with some water, salted water coming to a boil. It's pretty much at a boil. So I am going to wait just a while until I add my pasta. I want to start on the sauce first, so then we can add the pasta. So here I have some cavatappi pasta. This is also known as like corkscrew pasta. Any kind of like short pasta will work for this recipe. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. And in my high side skillet, I am going to turn on the heat to medium, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter. Here I have my lobster tails. As you can see, I have one out and I have one in the shell, so you can see what I did. I grabbed my kitchen shears and I cut all alongside the front, well, the top of the tail and the back, and that's gonna be the easiest way to remove the lobster meat from the lobster tail, and it should pretty much like come right out, and you're gonna have your lobster meat. So I am going to chop my tails because I want tiny little pieces of lobster, and this is going to cook in the butter, and it's going to give it just beautiful flavor. My butter nice and melted. So to it I am going to add my spices, and remember, all the recipe, it's gonna be on the website with all the measurements and all the things. So make sure you kind of give that a good stir to wake up the spices a little bit. And we're going to add our lobster. And lobster will cook very, very quickly. I am going to heat it with a little bit of salt, just like so, and a little bit of pepper. This is good. As you can see, once it turns a little bit opaque, you're going to go ahead and remove it from your skillet and place it on a clean plate. Okay, we set that aside. Now to this butter right here, you are going to add your flour, and you are going to stir that in until you create kind of like a thick paste, just like so. We're gonna let the roux cook for about a minute before we add the liquid. It's been about a minute. You wanna make sure that you let it cook completely. That way you don't have like a raw flour taste in your mac and cheese. And now I'm going to start adding my half and half very slowly as I whisk to avoid any clumps. My heat is on low, and now at this point I'm going to add in the pasta to my boiling water. You're gonna give it a quick stir so nothing sticks, and I'm gonna cook it for about 8 minutes, but make sure you follow your package instructions. That's gonna be 2 minutes shy of al dente, 2 to 3 minutes shy of al dente, because obviously your pasta is going to continue cooking in the oven. So you also wanna start preheating your oven to 375, so that's ready to go by the time your mac and cheese is done. So now we have to start adding our cheeses. So I'm gonna start with the mascarpone, and I'm just gonna whisk that in until it's fully incorporated. And the mascarpone is gonna bring a lot of creaminess, a little bit of sweetness that's going to complement the sweetness in the mac and cheese beautifully. And not the mac and cheese, the sweetness in the lobster, because as we know, lobster is slightly sweet. So once it's nicely melted, you're going to go ahead and start adding Okay, I don't want this whisk to fall. Okay, let's just put it right here. So you want to start adding the rest of your cheese. My fontina I cut into smaller little pieces because it's a little harder to shred. So I just went ahead and did that. Just like so. And I am going to leave a little bit of the Asiago, just a little bit, because that's going to go on top when we go bake it to create a wonderful crust. So now we just simply whisk until all the cheese is nice and melty. It's been about 2 minutes. My cheese is fully melted, and you're going to have this gloriousness of a sauce. Glorious, I don't know if that's a word, but look how cheesy and delicious this is. And listen, if you're feeling a little frisky, a little feisty, you can add some truffle oil to this, and my goodness, it is the best thing ever, because who doesn't love truffle lobster mac and cheese? So you can also do that. That's an option. My pasta is done cooking, so I'm just gonna transfer it to my skillet. I think it's easier if I drain it. I guess I feel like struggling today. I did drain it because I have no patience today. And I just didn't feel like struggling. There we go. So now we are going to switch to our wooden spatula, and we are going to just mix this goodness. I'm gonna season it with a little bit of salt, but make sure you try the sauce first and see if it needs a little bit of salt for your liking. I know it's gonna need a little bit of salt for me, and a little bit of pepper. I'm also going to add a little bit of nutmeg. I should have added this before I was making the sauce, but that's okay. We can add it now, and it is no issue. Stir that in. Oh my goodness, this is going to be glorious. You're gonna grab your baking dish, and you are going to pour your mac and cheese right in there. Now we add our lobster tail. I'm just going to kind of mix it in, so every bite has a bit of lobster. Now we finish it off with panko breadcrumb. We're gonna add the reserved Asiago cheese and add that all over the top. Okay, now this is going to go into my preheated oven at 375 for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. And mac and cheese just came out of the oven, and it's nice and bubbly and delicious. All that's left to do is add a little bit of fresh parsley all over the top to bring a little bit of freshness, because this is very cheesy, very yummy. But a little bit of fresh parsley does wonders for it. I don't want to break it too much because you guys know how to take a cute picture of it, but I still want to show you how creamy, look at this, and delicious this is. This is piping hot. It literally just came out of the oven a few seconds ago, but it's time for the taste test. This is magical. Let's just put it this way. If I had a restaurant, this would be on the menu. It's creamy, it's delicious, it's not too fishy. The lobster flavor does come through, but in the most like subtle, nicest way ever. This is how I make my favorite lobster mac and cheese. I hope you guys try it. If you make it for your loved ones, I'm sure they will love it. Remember, for the recipe on my website, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.